Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for today's Falcon Live Chat. We're going to give it just a moment to have some of the folks join us, and then we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so hello, my name is Bobby Lynn Kekic. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the Executive Director for Orientation and Student Onboarding here at Bentley University. I am incredibly excited to be joined here by three campus celebrities who will introduce themselves in just a moment. But before we get started, I did want to share a little bit of information about what our Falcon Live Chat series is, and then some of the information and experiences that your students are currently going through. So our Falcon Live Chat series is our on-demand orientation for family members that allows us to bring a little bit of Bentley to you. We recognize that our family members, supporters, parents, guardians, whomever is supporting our students, you have been in their life for a lot longer than they've been a part of the Bentley community. And we recognize that. And we want to really view this as a partnership. Your student is going to have many faculty, staff, student leaders, peers sharing this information as well. But we do know that your students may still come back to you and look for guidance or advice or information. And so we use this Falcon Live Chat series as one of many resources to help to provide you with those bits of information and details to help to direct your student to some of the resources here at Bentley. As I mentioned, we are here and we will continue to enforce that, but we want to make sure that you have that information on this journey as well. This is our last Falcon Live Chat series for our Spring 2024 series. If you have not been able to see our other live chats, you can view that on YouTube by just searching Bentley Orientation YouTube, or there's a direct link on our website, which can be accessed at bentley.edu/orientation. There's a lot of great resources and information, so please do check that out. And if you are viewing this as a recording, please feel free to reach out to us via email or by phone, and we'd be happy to answer any of your questions. So in just a moment, we will get to the content for today's session. But I did want to share with you that if you do have any questions throughout, please feel free to put those in our Q&A feature, which is on the bottom of your screen, and we will get to as many questions as we can during our time together. All right, so as I mentioned, my name is Bobby Lynn Kekic, and I'm the Executive Director for Orientation and Student Onboarding. And before I get into the content for the new Falcon experience, I am going to invite our campus celebrities to introduce themselves, and then we'll dig into their content. So Nicole, do you want to kick it off?
Sure. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Nicole Shabbat-Wiefrich. I'm the Associate Dean for Student Engagement here on campus. I use she, her pronouns, and happy to be with you this afternoon.
And hello, my name is Christine Lookner. I use she, her pronouns. I am Associate Dean of Student Equity and Inclusion. Looking forward to welcoming you to campus in January.
And good afternoon. I'm Vaughn Williams, and I am Director of Athletics at Bentley University, and we're looking forward to seeing you in 2024.
Wonderful. So before we get started with the important information that our presenters will be covering today, I did want to give you just a quick few tips and bits of information that your students have been hearing about, have been engaging in, and this is aspects of our new Falcon experience. So this is the onboarding experience for all new students, and it's a way for us to ensure that your students are getting connected to this new community and also taking care of some of the tasks that they need to complete prior to starting this journey. So there are a few deadlines that just recently passed. If your student is planning to live on campus, the housing application and contract was due on Friday. Our online orientation program deadline is today as well. And there's a few more deadlines coming up here shortly. So if your student by chance has missed a deadline, please encourage them to reach out to us as soon as possible, so that way we can help to assist them the best we can. If you are interested in viewing our online orientation program, you are able to access that from our orientation website and create a guest account. Again, it's another great way to just learn some more information about Bentley and the different resources and opportunities that we have. Your student's academic overview and course registration will take place on January 11th. I know this is something that's really important and that your student is probably asking about. Our team from Academic Services will be sending out an email this week, which will provide information about a really wonderful website that they have that provides different videos for your student to learn about how to use the course registration software, some understanding of some of the courses that they're going to be participating in this spring, and knowing that some students will be coming in with some advanced standing credit or transfer credit from this course. We recognize that selecting the schedule could take some, you might want to have some opportunities to connect with an academic advisor. So that will be available in January. So please encourage your student to view that email that's coming out this week from Academic Services. Additionally, we have a group of self-guided learning courses that students must complete prior to arriving to campus. And this covers content around equity and inclusion and belonging, healthy relationships, alcohol. Really just, we want to ensure that the students have a baseline level of information to create this foundation for success as they start this journey at Bentley. The last bit that I want to reference about the new Falcon experience is that we do have a few different arrival dates for our new Falcons. So our international students will arrive on January 17th. If your student is living on campus, they will also move into their residence hall on this date. There will be some programming that evening, including a reception, a welcome reception, hosted by our Center for International Students and Scholars. So if you are traveling with your student, you are invited to participate in that reception that evening. For our domestic residential students, so those are students who are U.S. citizens or are permanent residents of the United States and are living on campus, they would move in on January 18th. And if you are a domestic commuter student, then you will arrive on the 19th. So just want to spell that out because I know that traveling here can already be, a bit tricky. And so we want to make sure that you are aware of the specific dates that your students should be arriving. And the last bit is that our family resources and post-orientation virtual workshop will take place on February 7th. So we will be sending out an invite for that event. We highly encourage you to join us for that. It will include a welcome from our Vice President for Student Affairs. There'll be a student panel. You'll learn a little bit more about some of the academic resources within that first year for your student, in addition to some of the focus areas of how your student will receive support in the different opportunities that they have. So highly encourage folks to attend that. We will also record it. So if you're unable to join us live, we will have that available on our YouTube page as well. And this is just a quick wrap up of some of the resources that we've provided for our parents and families over the past few months. We will be sending out another newsletter for families this week, and we will send an additional one in January. So please make sure that you are on the lookout for those. And then again, if you haven't viewed our Student Affairs video series or the Falcon Live chats that happened prior to this one, please do go back and view those recordings. I mentioned the move-in dates, but also did want to give a quick nod to some of the ways that if you would like to continue to stay involved with the Bentley community, that you can participate in that. So our Office of Alumni and Family Engagement will host a variety of events for our parents, families, and alumni. We also have our Falcon Weekend, a program that happens annually in the fall. And this is our opportunity to bring together families, alums, current students, friends, faculty, staff, and really just celebrate being a part of the Bentley community. There are opportunities that happen on the campus and then also some virtual opportunities as well. Athletic events, you're going to hear a little bit about that, but if you do find yourself in the local area or in an area where we may be playing a team, please drop by. We always love to have more support from our extended Bentley family wherever we are, and our student athletes are top notch. So you'll hear a little bit more about that. And then, of course, community events. You will see that Bentley will be hosting different events here in the Boston area, but then also in other local areas where we have an alumni base or incoming students. So please be on the lookout and feel free to join us and stay connected as much as you would like to. We're going to go ahead and get started with today's topic. And I'm going to kick it over to Nicole to talk a little bit about what social connection at Bentley looks like.
Thank you so much, Biel. And I'm really excited to be here. And like I said earlier, to just share a little bit about what makes up the social fabric and social connection in our Bentley community. The first thing I'll say before we jump into any of the specific information is really just that there's no one way to socialize and engage and connect at Bentley. Our students come to us with diverse and varied interests. We are here to support that flourishing in our community. And it's really amazing to see all the various things that we have to offer. What we do commit to at the start of each semester is making sure certainly our new Falcons are welcomed with some of our great traditions, but also that we're kicking off everyone being back together for the semester. And in January, that means our winter welcome back weekend. So that is that first weekend that we are back with students on campus in classes. We typically have programs like you see on the screen up from Wednesday through Sunday that weekend. The team in our student programs and engagement area is still finalizing all the details for that program for this coming January. But rest assured, there's things to do every day and ways for your students to get involved, to meet new people. There are small events, there are very large events, but lots of different ways for people to come together and engage and be excited to be back on campus. One of those traditions every semester is we hold our activities fair. Now, one of the things that I love the most about Bentley is our rich culture of our student organizations. We have over 120 student organizations. We're almost to that 130 mark of recognized groups, and these are groups that our students start, they keep alive, they really keep the momentum going and how involved they are. So these could be academic in nature. We have a number of arts and recreation organizations, community engagement groups, fraternity and sorority life, which I'll speak to in a moment, and then also identity and advocacy organizations. So these organizations really plan events, plan meetings, plan ways for students to engage and come together around like ideas or identities. And it really makes up so much of what we have to offer and what you'll see advertised on our campus. The activities fair allows new students or returning students to see all of these organizations at tables throughout the student center and really decide what they want to get involved in and what is speaking to them. And certainly if we don't have something they're interested in, we have a way for students to start new organizations and to create those communities that they'll feel a sense of belonging in. But this activities fair is a wonderful kickoff point, and it's always that first Friday of the academic semester. As I said, we do have a fraternity and sorority life community on campus. We have 8 fraternities, we have 4 sororities, totaling just under 20% of our undergraduate student body. This is a really vibrant social community for us, but also a community that has worked with us to create a lot of strategic plans and priorities. We have our fraternity and sorority life standards program. They do a lot of traditional events and community building in the spring. One of the big ones is our fraternity classic hockey tournament, which is a way where Vaughn's and my worlds come together. And it's so exciting to see our students competing and have a fan base on campus. They do a lot of philanthropy and community service, raising tens of thousands of dollars each semester to go to local and national charities. And these are student leaders that are also RAs, athletes involved in other organizations. So the nice thing about Bentley's fraternity and sorority life community is that it is not so large that our students are able to be involved in multiple things in addition to that, which really enriches the chapter experience that we have. We do have a deferred recruitment for our students, so they do not go through recruitment until the spring of their first year. So for any students entering in January that are transfer students, they would be eligible. For students that are entering as first-time first-year students, they would not be eligible until the fall or spring of next year, depending on their choice of when to go through recruitment. And if there are any questions about that, certainly myself or the staff in student programs and engagement can answer those. Here are some just key campus traditions. Our spring semester is one of our busiest, so students coming in January are incredibly lucky to really get to jump right into a very vibrant semester. Like I said, we have our winter welcome back weekend, and then these are a number of student organization planned events. Our Super Bingo typically hosts up to 2,000 students with $1,000 prizes. You know, it's a really exciting event that's held in our Dana Center. Our Black United Body puts on an incredible fashion show every year, and then we have a number of cultural galas and performance events from our identity and advocacy groups. And this semester really culminates with our Spring Day program, which is a large concert and festival throughout the day that really helps everyone come together and celebrate the end of the year. Something that is a resource for families and students is Campus Groups, which is our platform on campus and our web-based system that allows students to check and see what's going on campus, as well as what to get involved in. So as families, you can always access the event calendar and check out what's going on. The link to that is here. And your students will learn a lot more when they come to campus about how their own account can allow them to learn about orgs to get involved in, and also how to pay attention and register for certain events that are on campus. And then finally, we have our Student Center, which is really at the heart of our campus. It is a living room for our students. It is a place where they do work. It hosts a number of our dining establishments that you can see here. And so it really is a central hub for our student life and a number of our administrative offices within student affairs. The building is open for 132 hours per week. So the goal is for students to really feel welcome and have open access in this space. And we find that it's busy almost all of those 132 hours. And this next slide has a lot of text on it. This is really here as a resource for you all, but it does just give a sense of what is in the Student Center and available to our students. So we have identity-based lounges, we have various gathering places. Like I said, we have a number of dining establishments. There's meeting and event spaces for our student organizations. And then this is a list of all the offices and resources that exist in the building. So our goal is that for students coming into the building, that it's a place that feels at home, that feels like they are welcome and comfortable, but also where a lot of the resources they need are within arm's reach. And our goal overall with engagement in our campus is for our students to feel like they can find their slice of Bentley and their piece of what's going to keep them passionate and engaged. Our students are what brings so much life to our campus, and our job and our goal is really to make sure that they have the resources to do that in a meaningful way to them. And I'm really happy to turn it over to my colleague, Christine, to talk about our inclusive community on our campus as well.
Great. So much, Nicole. I am happy to talk to you today about student equity and inclusion, which is really representative of 4 different offices that we sort of house all together under the umbrella of student equity and inclusion. So those 4 offices are our Office of Gender and Sexuality Student Programs, our Multicultural Center, the Office of Spiritual Life, and our Center for International Students and Scholars. And I'm just going to give you a quick highlight of each of those just so that you know exist and what kind of programs we offer. But as you can imagine, each of these areas has so many offerings. So I'm just giving you a quick highlight right now, and you'll have to dive in with us when you get to campus to learn more. So our first program I'm going to tell you about is our Gender and Sexuality Student Programs Office. So this office is really dedicated to supporting gender equity as well as our LGBTQ plus identified students. Excuse me, there's a lounge that students are invited to spend time in and to just sort of be a safe and comforting space for students. And we also have a couple of staff members that are in this office dedicated to supporting our students and working with them. You'll see on here that we have a welcome back session that is coming up the first week back. So encouraging all students to come and check out our center and see if this is a space where you might like to get more involved. The GSSP has, as you'll see, there's 2 slides, has a ton of offerings of programs, and that is because they are just an active bunch of folks that are really excited about the visibility that we provide for our students. So our Women's Leadership Program is one of the largest programs that we have, and that is a 4-year program for women that are selected into this program at the time of application into Bentley. And that is a great program that provides skills for all of our students who are enrolled and prepare them for the life after they graduate from Bentley. SAGE is Students Advocating Gender Equality, which is a student organization promoting development and empowerment of women. Pride is our people respecting individuality and diversity through education. Really, that is our LGBTQ plus support student org. And so that is a very active org that is heavily involved in such cool events such as Drag Bingo and other campus-wide events that really engage a lot of the folks across campus. And also we have our Bentley Women's Network, which is another student org. We have a lot of student orgs, as Nicole was saying. And this one highlights women that want to network with professionals and peers for business purposes. We also offer programs not just for women, but we do try to engage our male identified students as well so that they can realize that gender equity is an issue for all of us. And we do that through our Men as Allies Summit as well as other programming. There is a defined community for women who want to live together on campus, and that's a fantastic opportunity to consider if you're thinking about wanting to find a special living arrangement. And we have orgs like Dresses to Dreams, which supports high school girls in the Boston area finding prom dresses. You'll find that a lot of our students do very activism-focused activities, which I think is really inspiring to be a part of. I think we have missed a slide, perhaps. I was going to talk about our Multicultural Center. There we go. That's great. Thank you. It may have gone out of order. Sorry about that. So I do want to talk about our Multicultural Center, which is our office dedicated to supporting our students of color on campus. And we have a fantastic team of really enthusiastic, dedicated staff members who are here to support students on a variety of issues as they are developing in their identity and wanting to connect with other students of color. We have a fantastic, beautiful new lounge that is dedicated specifically for students of color that was just redone this past year. And it is quite a sight. You know, all students walk by and they're like, oh, I want to hang out in there, because it is just a really inviting, warm space. And so we encourage you to come and hang out and find this new space and make it your home when you get to campus. So our Multicultural Center offers a bunch of programs. So there's our Mosaic Experience, which is offered at the start of August, which is for our new students of color to come together and have their own welcome program before orientation. But once you're involved at Bentley, we have our peer-to-peer program, which pairs our brand new students with mentors and those mentors are returning students. And that's a really phenomenal way for our new students to get some support and some mentorship from upper class students. And then of course we have conversation series and events that happen throughout the year to promote dialogue and to just engage our students in all of the hot topics that they're interested in discussing. I think there we go. The logo has kind of come in late on this one. So this is we offer a couple of retreats each year as well. And so this is a really, really nice opportunity for our students of color to get away together and have an experience where they are supported through programming and identity development, but really just have a connection point to build a family and to build their close connections with each other, which ends up being friendships that last throughout their entire 4 years. So I encourage students to get involved in these retreat experiences as well. All right, our Spiritual Life Center is really a space for religiously affiliated students and also not religiously affiliated students. It is the goal of the Spiritual Life Center is to support spiritual growth and well-being. So the tagline here is we are a place to be, to belong, and to become. We have a beautiful space called our Sacred Space, which is a really inviting, welcoming space for all students of all faiths, of all non-faiths, to come and just sort of have that presence and have that space to feel that they are a part of communities here at Bentley. And as you'll see here, we have lots of offerings for religious programming through the Sacred Space, Catholic Mass, mindfulness meditation. We have some Christian affiliated groups, Catholic, Athletes in Action. We have Juma prayer for our Muslim students. We have weekly Jewish Shabbat dinners. And then we have a lot of interfaith activities where we bring our groups together. And those are some of the richest and most proud opportunities I think that we have, which is really deep engagement between different types of religions where students can connect and really learn from each other and grow together. Our spiritual life office offers a bunch of programming, but these are just two of the highlighted programs. We have an Interfaith Day of Service in March, which is a campus-wide event, and it brings together so many students, and it's a food packaging event where we package meals for people in the local community who need it, and we, I think, package like 4,000 meals or some very impressive number, and we are able to serve our community that way, and it's a whole lot of fun, and it's a bonding experience. And actually happening right now is a Reading Day retreat. So Reading Day is the day before final exams, and this is really a space for students to get some studying in, but also get some reflection and some, time to pause and make sure that they are having some wellness as they are preparing for their final exams. All right, and the last office I am going to tell you about is our Center for International Students and Scholars. So this is an office that is dedicated to supporting our full-time as well as our exchange students, full-time international students coming here for 4 years, exchange students coming from our partner institutions. And so the advisors in this office are all trained in immigration support and advising because we know it's complicated. And so we're here to help you and answer all of your questions. You're not doing this alone, navigating the visa process. We serve over 1,000 international students each year from all over the globe, 78 countries. So we are very proud that we represent a very diverse community, and we try to serve everyone and make it an easy experience to adjust to Bentley. One of the programs that's offered through our Center for International Students and Scholars is our Worldview program, in which our international students serve as ambassadors, and they are invited to participate in classroom discussions, in brainstorm sessions with offices that are trying to overhaul their procedures. And the beautiful thing about this program is that people are contributing their perspectives from their own world experiences. And so it really makes for a rich, engaging way for students to connect with other students, with staff and faculty on campus, and to share their own world view, which is why it's called Worldview. And I believe this is the last slide I have. So this is another program we offer is Culture Fest. It's a week of events, which usually takes place in November. And it is just really showcasing all of the rich, diverse, beautiful cultures that we have on campus. We have artistic programming, we have speakers, we have engaging, participatory experiences for students to get to know each other's cultures and to really learn what else is out there and to get involved in that way. And I believe that is my last slide. So yes, I will pass it to our Director of Athletics, Vaughn Williams.
Well, now that you've heard all that abundance of information about how we do things and how we take care of everybody, all I'll say is Bentley U, black and blue. Those are our colors. We are black and blue. Go to the next slide. And down here, and you're going to see there's a lot of winter athletic events that are coming up. And I think, once again, there are so many opportunities to engage. And obviously, I'm the director of athletics, so I definitely want you to come down the hill, as we say, come down the hill and participate and come to some of our exciting games. You can see the schedules that are coming up. Teddy, we got a lot of things, a lot of giveaways. The students come out, and we want them to be engaged as much as they want. Highly competitive teams. We have 24 varsity sports at Bentley, and we just added one in fall of 24 will be women's golf. So we're excited. We also have competitive sports. We have around 14 competitive sports, and so it's about a place where you can compete, connect, and work out in our fitness center. So it's all about that. So next slide. You can see our athletes and all of our campus. So I just don't say just our athletes. Our students connect and give back in the community, and the athletes are not immune to that. We love what they do and the celebrations of everything that we do. A lot of milestones happened in the last couple of years in regards to some of our sports, 50 years of football, men's soccer, volleyball, 50, 60 years of tennis and those type of things that were celebrated. So a lot of things going on. If you don't know, we do have a Hall of Fame, a basketball Hall of Fame inductee, Barbara Stevens. I can't beat that. Most of you probably have heard about our basketball programs. They are unbelievable. They have been such a beacon of excellence of not only just Bentley itself, but student athletes and what we stand for, being true student athletes and having people engaged. They're scholars and they do it just as well outside of the court as they do onside the court. Next slide. Flock staff. There's ways to get involved, and we're encouraging students. There's so many ways to get involved, as you just heard for the last couple of minutes from all these different areas. And so the Flock staff is no different. This is staff that helps us out in varsity athletics, gets involved, gets other students involved to come to games. I think there's opportunities as well for professional growth and marketing and tickets and everything that we do in event management. So I think there's something for everyone when you come to Bentley, but we do as good and hard as we can to make those things fun. Other things you can see, Flex. Well, Flex, okay. There you go, Flex right there. That is our mascot, Flex. And now when you come to campus, you're going to see him looking a little different this time around, but Flex is the beacon of our, how would you say, of a falcon. And a falcon is of excellence. It's fast, it hunts, it's smart, it's intelligent, has great vision. There's a lot of things that a falcon and Flex symbolize, and you'll see him on campus any place. Flock staff. Some of these images are produced by students. Yes, by students. And you could be one of those students. You're interested. You just got to send an email to me, your athletic director, or some people in our office, and maybe we can get you involved of this kind of stuff. So getting students involved in anything, some of their hobbies, some of their passions is what we want to do on every part of this campus. Next. And just staying connected. You can follow us on Instagram. I know Twitter's a little bit apart. So if you like Twitter, you can follow us on Twitter. If you like Instagram, you can follow us on Instagram. We're there. Once again, it's not a big campus, but it's a vibrant campus. And there's something, everything's walkable, up the hill, down the hill, whatever you want to do. We are here in athletics to help you have another place to have memories and a good experience. And like I said, if you don't want to come watch, we've got a lot of competitive sports that you can get involved with. If you don't want to do that and get involved in competitive sports, then you want to come to intramurals. Intramurals will be starting soon as you get here. So you get to sign up, watch out for those emails, pay attention to those emails. You'll see it. If you don't want to sign up for intramurals and those type of things, then it's the fitness center that is open a lot of times, all right? Sometimes we're down on holidays, but the rest of that is a place where you can then meet people, but also a place where you can stay healthy in preparation for the spring semester.
Wonderful. Well, I want to thank the three of you for sharing all of this valuable information to our family members, to our students. I think this is, one of many ways that they are going to continue to hear about the wonderful community that we have here at Bentley, filled with so many opportunity. And I always, share with our family members, our supporters, our parents, if your student is saying there's nothing happening on campus, please just direct them to this webinar, because as you can see, there's always something happening. And as Nicole mentioned earlier in the presentation, if there's an organization or if there's something that maybe they don't see here, but they're interested in starting, that opportunity is available for them as well. So with that being said, I am going to open it up for any questions that we might have for the group. So please feel free to go ahead and put those in our Q&A button now, and we'll answer those for you.
Yeah, while we're waiting for questions to come in, I think it's important too to reference that it can be overwhelming for new students when they come to campus and see the vast number of things that we have to offer. So if I could provide a little bit of advice, I think it's just encouraging your student to really think about what they're passionate about, think about the things they want to get involved in, take some risks, put their name out there, but also to recognize that that's not the only time they're going to get to do that. So we have students in their second year, their third year, still trying new things and still getting involved in new things. So there's so much at their fingertips, but please make sure that they're encouraged to recognize that they don't have to do it all at once. Oftentimes that can make, the stress and the balance harder. So to really just be thoughtful, and put some time into thinking about what you want to do and what feels good for the right now, but know that that can all change, and we're here to help students find the right thing if they can't. So there's always time.
Yeah, I think that's really important to note. I think also when students are coming in January, I think sometimes folks are like, oh my gosh, I have to do all the things so I can play this catch up. And that is not the case at all. There are so many opportunities regardless of when our students are starting. And to be honest, I think when our students come in January, we're able to put even more attention and support to that cohort of students. Just from like the orientation experience, every orientation group will have 2 orientation leaders. And when we're looking at, groups of 10 to 20 with 2 upper class students, that just provides such a direct connection. We're bringing them they'll get to go to their first hockey game. They're going to be able to have one-on-one time with faculty and staff. So, if your student is starting to feel a little bit nervous, please, encourage them and let them know that there's going to be a lot of one-on-one time for them. And as Nicole mentioned, just taking a chance to soak it all in and take a breath and know that they're at whatever level they're looking to be involved. So whether that's wanting to go and cheer on the team as opposed to play an intramural in their first, semester, but then maybe the next semester they're doing that, or if it's being a committee member on an organization or attending an event. There's a lot of different ways that students can maximize their experience. Christine or Vaughn, are there any bits of information or anything else you'd want to make sure that we share with folks as we continue to wait for any questions that come in?
I think it's just want to put out there, and I know you've probably covered this in other sessions and other webinars, but Bentley is, I think, just the right size place for students to find all the resources that you need. And I would encourage you to don't hesitate to ask a staff or faculty member for guidance, because we are a small enough institution that we get to know our students, and we are really able to help in that way. And if we are not the right person to help you, we probably know the person who does. So just make sure you're not shy about asking for help or support or guidance when you get here, and somebody will definitely point you in the right direction.
That's good. That's good. A lot of great things have been said. I know we tell our student athletes, right, new student athletes when they come, to make sure you introduce yourself to your faculty, introduce yourself to staff. I think they'll find the difference of our campus, why you chose to come to Bentley, because of the people. The people. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how easy it will be to pick up a conversation or to get. So if it's not coming to a game or whatever it is, or going to the fitness center, or whatever that is, just make sure you introduce yourself to people. I think that's a part of the experience. And as our student athletes always say, when they started to get involved, it really then enriched their experience of Bentley, the richness and diversity of so many thoughts and people and the different things that we offer. So this place is built on its people. And then I think you'll find that they'll extend that hand as well.
I appreciate those sentiments, Vaughn, and seeing that there's no questions, I feel like it's hard to follow that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite anybody who has questions later or is viewing this as a recording to reach out to us via email. If you're not sure where to reach out to, you can always email orientation@bentley.edu and we can connect you with the appropriate staff. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you here shortly. Take care. Thank you all.